To the human eye, the Pacific Ocean still looks peaceful, but beneath this sea, the balance is already beginning to change. Inside the upper ocean, warmth begins to gather, forming the first quiet signal of El Niño. El Niño is not a single wave in the sea. It is a warm ocean pattern spreading silently through the Pacific.
The Pacific Ocean is layered like a living system, and when the surface sea grows too warm, the deeper balance begins to weaken.
This warmth does not crash through the sea. It expands quietly, changing the Pacific Ocean one layer at a time.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the smallest coral movements reveal how warmth begins to press against life.
In the sea, behavior changes before disaster becomes visible, and the Pacific Ocean records every movement. Before storms shift across the planet, the first signal begins here, among the smallest life in the Pacific Ocean Sea. The Pacific Ocean Sea is warming from above, but the next question is what this warmth will do to the winds above the water.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is no longer only storing heat, it is beginning to guide the air above the water.
The warmer the Pacific Ocean Sea becomes, the more the sky above it begins to build new patterns. Even beneath the surface, the Pacific Ocean Sea reflects the change above it, as warmth connects water, sky, and life. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life begins to adjust before the full force of El Niño is seen.
From this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the signal is no longer hidden underwater. It is now rising into the sky and moving outward.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life is still moving, but the rhythm of the water has already begun to slow.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warm water is no longer trapped where it once belonged. A clear sea can look peaceful, but in the Pacific Ocean, fewer nutrients can mean less life.
The Pacific Ocean Sea releases heat into the air, and the air begins building new weather. When the sea changes, the sky does not remain still. The ocean engine has not stopped, but across this Pacific Ocean Sea, its rhythm has changed.
Inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life follows currents that are no longer behaving as they once did.
What begins below the 4K Pacific Ocean sea surface now reaches into the sky above it.
The warm Pacific Ocean Sea has become a signal, and the atmosphere has begun to respond.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is now shaping the first chapter of global disruption.
The weakened winds above have changed the water below, and the Pacific Ocean Sea now carries that stress through life itself.
As this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea warms and spreads, the next impact will be felt by the life that depends on it.
The trade winds have weakened, the warm sea has spread, and now the Pacific Ocean's living world must face the pressure.
Now the warm Pacific Ocean Sea reaches the living world, and the first pressure is felt beneath the waves.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, coral survives by balance, and El Niño begins to press against that balance.
The sea still glows with color, but the Pacific Ocean is no longer feeding the reef with the same strength.
Across this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, small fish begin to move because the water around them has changed.
In the Pacific Ocean Sea, clear water can hide a dangerous truth when the smallest life begins to disappear. Before the larger animals suffer, the first change begins here, in the smallest drifting life of the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea.
When warm Pacific Ocean seawater reduces the rising nutrients, the food chain begins to weaken from the bottom.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, hunger does not arrive as a single moment. It spreads through movement. The Pacific Ocean Sea is one connected system, and a change at the surface reaches life below.
Even near the reef floor, this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea carries the pressure of warming water. As the Pacific Ocean Sea warms, Life searches for shade, depth, and every small refuge the reef can offer. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, when small fish scatter, larger hunters must follow the change. The Pacific Ocean Sea begins rearranging the paths of hunters, prey, and every creature between them. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth changes not only where life feeds, but where life can remain. The ocean is becoming divided, and every layer of the Pacific Ocean Sea now carries a different risk. Coral does not need to vanish overnight. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, stress can begin with a fading color. The Pacific Ocean Sea is still alive, but El Niño begins to lower the energy of the reef. When the sea changes, survival may mean leaving familiar waters behind. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, even a school can begin to lose its shape when the ocean's rhythm changes. The living sea below and the changing sky above are now part of the same El Niño story. Across this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the absence of movement becomes as important as the movement itself. The Pacific Ocean Sea changes slowly, but every animal moving through it must respond immediately. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, beauty remains, but abundance begins to thin. A reef inside the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea depends on movement, and when movement weakens, life waits. The open Pacific Ocean Sea can look endless, but during El Niño, it can also become strangely empty. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, movement becomes a gamble between heat, hunger, and survival. Even when life finds another reef, the Pacific Ocean Sea carries the same warm pressure with it. The stress of the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea reaches into places the eye almost misses. When the sea holds less food, every feeding movement costs more energy. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the food web does not break all at once. It loosens strand by strand. The Pacific Ocean Sea reveals the chain of life through layers, and every layer now feels the warmth. This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea remains beautiful, but beauty does not mean the system is safe. The Pacific Ocean Sea carries stress below and sends signals above. El Niño does not need to erase life at once. In the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, it changes where life can thrive. The deeper sea may offer cooler water, but it also changes the rules of feeding and survival. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, escaping warmth can mean leaving abundance behind. The Pacific Ocean Sea becomes a narrowing space where life must choose between light, food, and temperature. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, stress changes not only where animals go, but how they meet each other. Even the strongest hunters in the Pacific Ocean Sea depend on the smallest drifting life.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea shows the food web without words, from invisible life to visible struggle.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has stressed its living world, and now the warmth begins to move rainfall across the sky.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has stressed its living world, and now the warmth begins to move rainfall across the sky.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life below and rain above are connected by the same warmth.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is not silent because nothing is happening. It is silent because life is adjusting under pressure.
As the living sea adapts, the next signal rises into the air, where rain will shift and drought will spread. From this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the pressure now moves beyond marine life and into the movement of clouds. The Pacific Ocean Sea has changed beneath the waves, and next, the rain begins to move, and distant lands will feel the ocean's heat. The warm Pacific Ocean Sea has stressed the life beneath it, and now the sky will carry that disruption outward. From this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, rain begins to move away from its old rhythm. The Pacific Ocean Sea gives the sky heat and moisture, and the sky begins to build rain in new places.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, one area receives heavy rain while another waits beneath a silent sky.
The rain falls back into the sea, but the pattern that created it is already moving outward. El Niño does not make the whole ocean sky wet. It shifts where the Pacific Ocean Sea sends its moisture. Across this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth chooses where clouds rise and where clouds fail to form.
Even beneath the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea surface, the movement of rain above becomes part of the ocean's story.
The ocean now carries two signals at once: heavy rain over one sea region and dryness over another. The Pacific Ocean Sea becomes the path of a moving climate signal.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the shadows of clouds reveal where the atmosphere is being rearranged.
The warmer Pacific Ocean Sea feeds stronger clouds, but it also pulls rainfall away from its usual places.
Over this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, rain is no longer evenly shared by the sky. A few miles across the sea can separate a flooded sky from an empty one. In the dry side of this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, even the water column feels still and exposed.
The living sea moves through the same boundaries that shape rain above it.
Where the Pacific Ocean Sea gives warmth to the sky, rain can fall harder and longer.
The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea becomes a reservoir of energy for clouds that grow beyond their normal limits.
El Niño can make one sky overflow while another sky is left waiting. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, drought begins not with dust, but with clouds that fail to form.
The sea remains full of water, yet the sky above it can still become dry.
Across the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, one connected body of water can create very different skies. Even underwater, the Pacific Ocean Sea can reveal where rain gathers and where dryness remains.
The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea does not separate climate from life. It carries both through every current.
Rain moves across this Pacific Ocean Sea like a shifting line between abundance and absence.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea shows the pattern without words. Rain moves, and dryness spreads behind it.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is now a moving stage, where wet and dry patterns trade places. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the absence of rain becomes its own kind of warning. When the sky above the sea stays empty, the water below can grow warmer and quieter. The living world inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea must adjust to heat from above and hunger from below.
The Pacific Ocean Sea carries one story below the waves and another above them, but both are driven by the same warmth.
Where the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea feeds the clouds, rainfall can become heavier than the landscape beyond the ocean is ready to receive. The rain begins above the sea, but the consequences will not stay above the sea.
The Pacific Ocean Sea remains the engine, even when the rain it creates moves far beyond the horizon.
While one path carries rain away from the Pacific Ocean Sea, another path is left under a sky that gives nothing back.
Drought is not only cracked ground. Over this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, it begins as missing clouds.
The dry sky above and the warm sea below become two pressures on the same living ocean. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, dryness above the water can deepen the stress within the water. Across the Pacific Ocean Sea, El Niño draws a line between too much rain and not enough. This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea connects the extremes, turning warmth into imbalance.
The ocean does not choose disaster, but when the Pacific Ocean Sea shifts, the atmosphere must follow.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth rises, rain falls, and the cycle grows stronger.
From above, the clouds look powerful, but below them, the 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is still the source.
The sea below has changed the rhythm, and the sky now plays unevenly above it.
The Pacific Ocean Sea keeps its warmth after the rain moves on, preparing the next shift in weather.
Every rainfall pattern above this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea leaves a trace beneath the surface. The ocean current carries heat, the sky carries rain, and El Niño connects them both. Now the shifting rain becomes only part of a larger disruption rising from the Pacific Ocean Sea. This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is no longer only moving rain, it is feeding larger atmospheric consequences. Rain moves, drought spreads, and the Pacific Ocean Sea continues sending heat into a restless planet. The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea now holds the full chain: warm water, weak winds, stressed life, and moving rain. From this Pacific Ocean Sea, the rain has shifted and drought has spread. Next, the heat will rise into storms and global consequences.
From this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the heat now rises into storms, temperature, and global consequences.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has stored the heat, and now the sky begins to use it. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth becomes energy, and energy begins to build storms. The storm above the sea is not separate from the ocean below. It is born from the heat rising out of the Pacific. Even beneath this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the storm leaves its pressure in light, current, and movement. The living world inside the Pacific Ocean Sea moves deeper as heat and weather intensify above. The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea feeds the rain, and the rain returns to the sea with greater force. Across this Pacific Ocean Sea, the storm expands because the warmth beneath it does not fade.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, extremes can exist side by side, connected by the same warm pattern.
The Pacific Ocean Sea may calm between storms, but the heat remains, waiting beneath the surface.
Inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, beauty hides the accumulated heat that keeps the disturbance alive.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is not only warmer at the surface, it is reorganized from the surface downward. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, storms above and hunger below are part of the same chain. The Pacific Ocean Sea does not need to destroy a reef at once. Sustained heat can weaken it day by day.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the cost of heat is written in small fading colors. When the Pacific Ocean Sea changes, even the hunters must follow a food web that no longer holds its old shape.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea still looks endless, but endless water does not always mean endless life.
The living sea below and the changing storm sky above are locked in one Pacific Ocean pattern.
Above this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the atmosphere grows more restless as heat continues to rise.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has moved from silence into force, and the consequences are expanding.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, heat, rain, wind, and cloud now move as one disturbed system.
The sea gives energy to the storm, and the storm gives motion back to the sea.
Beneath this 4K Pacific Ocean sea storm, life continues, but every movement becomes more demanding. The Pacific Ocean Sea carries the storm downward, turning surface violence into underwater stress. Even away from the storm, this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea remains part of the same heat-driven pattern.
The Pacific Ocean Sea does not only move storms, its warmth can lift the temperature of the planet.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, heat rises quietly, but its reach can extend far beyond the water. For life inside the Pacific Ocean Sea, warmth changes where safety, food, and survival can be found. This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is still living, but its living systems are working harder than before.
As the Pacific Ocean Sea warms, movement becomes survival for creatures that once stayed close to home.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, one pressure rarely travels alone. The Pacific Ocean Sea keeps feeding the sky, and the sky keeps answering with stronger signals. Across this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the consequences spread in waves of cloud, rain, heat, and wind. What began as shifted rain over the Pacific Ocean Sea now grows into larger atmospheric force.
The 4K Pacific Ocean Sea carries the storm above into the behavior of life below.
In the Pacific Ocean Sea, the consequences of El Niño are felt as heat, shadow, hunger, and caution.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea changes the rules for prey and predator alike.
When the sea becomes less predictable, even power must travel farther. The storm moves on, but the Pacific Ocean Sea keeps the heat that helped create it. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, calm is no longer an ending, it is only a pause before the next response.
The Pacific Ocean Sea now holds many futures at once: storm, heat, drought, and shifting life.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea teaches that quiet water can still carry deep disruption. The global story returns to the reef, where the Pacific Ocean Sea records heat in living color. Every chapter of El Niño remains connected inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is beautiful, but during El Niño, beauty and danger share the same horizon.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea has sent its warmth into the sky, into life, and into the planet's wider climate.
From one warm ocean pattern, the Pacific Ocean Sea has disturbed wind, rain, storms, heat, and life.
Beneath the 4K Pacific Ocean sea surface, the living world continues under the weight of a changed climate rhythm. After the force of storms and heat, the Pacific Ocean Sea becomes quieter, but the consequences remain. The Pacific Ocean Sea has shown its power, and now the question becomes what this connected planet can learn from it.
The storms have risen, the heat has spread, and the Pacific Ocean Sea has revealed one truth.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea shows that climate is not a single event, but a moving connection between water, wind, cloud, and life.
The Pacific Ocean Sea does not forget heat quickly. It carries warmth through time, current, and weather. Beneath this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life continues, not untouched, but still moving through change. In the Pacific Ocean Sea, survival is not only resistance, it is adjustment, movement, and patience.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea reminds us that life can endure, but endurance is not the same as safety.
The Pacific Ocean Sea writes its history in coral color, in fish movement, and in every current that returns.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, balance does not return all at once. It begins in small movements.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is a layered world, and every layer depends on the others.
From the deep sea to the surface, the Pacific Ocean carries one connected climate story.
Above this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the sky begins to slow, but it still follows the memory of the water below.
A calm Pacific Ocean Sea is not an empty system. It is still exchanging heat, moisture, and motion with the world.
The winds over this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea may strengthen again, but the lesson of El Niño remains.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is always moving toward balance, even after balance has been disturbed.
Inside this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, recovery begins as motion slowly becomes familiar again.
The Pacific Ocean Sea connects reef to reef, current to current, and life to life across distances too large to see.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life does not return to the past. It continues into the conditions the ocean gives it.
A reef is not separate from the Pacific Ocean Sea. It is a living expression of the sea's temperature, light, and current.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is not simply water. It is connection made visible.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea joins the living world below with the moving atmosphere above.
Rain may weaken, clouds may thin, but the Pacific Ocean Sea still guides where moisture travels.
To understand El Niño, we must understand that the sea does not act alone, and nothing on Earth is truly separate.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is a climate engine, but it is also a mirror of planetary connection. Every descent into this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea reveals the same truth. The planet's systems are woven together.
The Pacific Ocean Sea breathes through currents, and when that breath changes, the world changes with it.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, the smallest life is connected to the largest climate pattern. The sea can recover in fragments, and those fragments matter. In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, adaptation is written in every turn of a fish school. The Pacific Ocean Sea is never only disaster, it is also persistence. From beneath the waves to the clouds above, this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea has carried the entire story. The same Pacific Ocean Sea we saw at the beginning now means something different.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is not distant from the planet. It is one of the planet's deepest voices.
The ocean shapes the sky, and the sky returns to shape the ocean.
Beneath this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, every creature lives inside a climate system larger than itself.
The Pacific Ocean Sea teaches us that fragility and strength can exist in the same living world. One reef is small, but the sea that surrounds it is part of a planetary network.
To follow El Niño is to follow the Pacific Ocean Sea, from hidden warmth to global consequence.
The Pacific Ocean Sea is vast enough to seem silent, yet powerful enough to change the rhythm of Earth. El Niño may rise and fade, but the connection it reveals never disappears.
The Pacific Ocean Sea seeks balance again. But balance is always moving, never fixed.
In this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea, life continues not because the ocean is easy, but because life has always followed change. Every living place inside the Pacific Ocean Sea depends on forces far beyond its own horizon. The sea below and the sky above are never separate. They are one moving system. A single warm pattern in the Pacific Ocean Sea can travel through wind, rain, storm, reef, and life.
To watch this 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is to watch the planet breathing through water.
The Pacific Ocean Sea has shown us that Earth is not a collection of separate places, but one connected system. The story began with warmth in the sea, and it ends with a deeper understanding of what that warmth can mean.
Even when the Pacific Ocean Sea is calm, it is still shaping the future of wind, rain, and life.
This 4K Pacific Ocean Sea is more than a place. It is one of Earth's greatest climate forces. El Niño reminds us that the ocean does not need to shout to be heard across the planet.
Beneath the surface of the Red Sea, an ancient ocean world waits in silence.
At first, the ocean appears peaceful, but the Red Sea has never been truly still. This is more than a reef. It is a living ocean fortress, built slowly by the ancient sea.
In this sea, even the smallest life becomes part of a greater design.
The ocean writes its history in sand, stone, and the silent movement of life. Where small fish gather in the open sea, unseen hunters are never far away. But in the Red Sea, survival often depends on knowing when to vanish into the ocean shadows. Every creature in this ocean listens through movement, sensing danger before it appears.
The Red Sea does not always reveal its predators. Sometimes, the ocean only reveals their silence.
In the Red Sea, silence is not emptiness. It is the language of survival.
Every reef in this ancient ocean is both shelter and trap.
To rise into open water is to trade darkness for exposure.
In this sea, the smallest movement can travel farther than sound. The ocean often reveals danger through those who fear it first.
Before a hunter appears, the Red Sea often becomes strangely calm.
Here, beauty is camouflage, and color can hide both fear and hunger.
The ancient ocean is built from thousands of hiding places, and each one has a story.
To follow the reef inward is to enter the older memory of the sea.
And in the quiet heart of the Red Sea, the first silent hunters begin to wake. The Red Sea ocean does not rush its stories. It lets the darkness speak first. In this ancient sea, every shadow belongs to the reef, and every reef belongs to the hunt. Peace returns quickly in the ocean, but never completely. The Red Sea is a world of openings, shelters, edges, and unseen paths. Where the reef begins to fall, the rules of the sea begin to change. Even the sand of this ocean is alive with movement, warning, and escape. Some predators in the Red Sea do not chase. They become part of the ocean itself. In this ancient sea, the difference between stone and hunter can disappear. The ocean teaches every creature to read shape, shadow, and silence. And beyond the reef, the Red Sea ocean begins to reveal the shape of its hunters. The Red Sea ocean gives only glimpses, never answers too soon.
Out here, away from the reef, the ocean becomes a place of distance, patience, and hidden movement.
A school survives because many eyes become one mind inside the sea.
When the ocean suddenly opens around them, the warning has already begun. In the Red Sea, the first sign of a predator is often the silence it leaves behind.
Every crack in this ocean wall can become a doorway for hunger.
The ocean does not need noise to create fear. separation is the moment the ancient sea has always understood. For the hunted, the ocean is measured in inches, shadows, and seconds. And ahead, where the Red Sea bends into darkness, the hunters wait without a sound. The deeper the Red Sea ocean draws us in, the more its silence begins to feel alive. In this ancient sea, the hunter does not need to be seen to be felt. The Red Sea records every movement, even when the creature that made it has already vanished. Every arch, cave, and hollow in this ocean can become a waiting mouth. Here, survival belongs to those who can become invisible inside the sea. The Red Sea does not separate beauty from danger. It weaves them into the same silence. The hunted may escape one shadow, but the ocean is filled with many. This ancient ocean is not random. Every ledge, current, and shadow shapes the lives within it. In the Red Sea, peace is only a pause between movements. And now, beneath the beauty of this ancient sea, the silent predators of the Red Sea begin to emerge.
Beneath the beauty of the Red Sea ocean, the hunters are already in position.
Some predators in this ancient sea do not chase. They wait beautifully. In the Red Sea, danger can be graceful enough to be mistaken for beauty.
Inside the reef, the Red Sea shelters hunters built for patience.
The ancient ocean gives even its fiercest hunters a place to remain unseen.
Every hollow in this sea may be empty, or it may be waiting.
Strength in the Red Sea ocean is often hidden beneath stillness. A hunter does not always need speed. Sometimes it only needs the perfect place.
On the ocean floor, the Red Sea teaches predators how to become stone. In this sea, survival may depend on seeing what does not wish to be seen. The Red Sea ocean has hunters that hide not in darkness, but beneath the sand. What looks like empty sand may rise and move with the patience of the sea itself. Beyond the Coral Kingdom, the Red Sea holds hunters made for open water.
Here, the reef ends, and the open ocean begins to choose its victims.
Some predators carry the authority of the ocean in their movement alone.
The Red Sea ocean is divided between those who hide and those who patrol. Among the silent hunters of this sea, some survive by changing who they appear to be. In the Red Sea, camouflage is not only disguise, it is a language written across living skin.
Even in the smallest openings of this ocean, power can wait in silence.
The Coral Kingdom hides its hunters beneath color, texture, and time. The Red Sea ocean is not ruled by one hunter, but by many forms of patience.
Some hunters wait at the edge of traffic, where the reef forces life to pass close.
For small life in the Red Sea, every shortcut may pass through danger.
The ancient sea rewards those who can wait longer than fear can last.
In this ocean, shape can become a mask.
The reef does not need cages. It builds its traps from current, shelter, and habit.
The Red Sea hides power inside narrow spaces.
In this ancient sea, the hunters do not need to gather. The reef gathers prey for them.
The coral kingdom is beautiful because it is alive, and dangerous because everything alive must feed. To leave the reef is to enter another kind of silence. Some hunters are built for the moment when stillness breaks. In the ocean, fear travels faster than the hunter itself. The Red Sea turns beauty into a wall and patience into a weapon. Here, the line between animal and landscape becomes almost impossible to draw. Below the coral, the Red Sea holds a second world of tunnels and teeth.
Not all hunters in this ocean hide in shadow. Some hide beneath light.
The ancient sea is full of hunters too small to cast a shadow. In this ocean, intelligence can hide inside a changing shape.
The Red Sea does not always show the hunter leaving. Sometimes, it simply closes around it.
At the edge of the reef, silence becomes distance, and distance becomes threat. The Red Sea Ocean is a kingdom of levels, and each level has its own hunter.
Each predator holds one piece of the ancient sea's balance.
For those who are hunted, the Red Sea is a maze that changes with every current. Every passage through this ocean demands a choice between risk and refuge. The silent predators of the Red Sea do not announce themselves. They let the reef speak for them. In this ancient sea, life returns to calm because danger never truly leaves. Now that the hunters have been revealed, the ancient ocean will show how they survive. The Red Sea has shown us where its predators hide. Next, it will reveal how silence becomes the perfect weapon. The Red Sea has shown us where its predators wait. Now, the ancient ocean reveals how they hunt.
In this sea, a hunter may begin the hunt without moving forward.
The lionfish does not need to rush. It lets the ocean current and its own beauty close the distance.
In the Red Sea, escape routes can become traps before the hunted understands the shape of danger. The great ambush hunters of this ocean save their strength for a single perfect moment. Timing is the oldest language of the sea. Some hunters in the Red Sea survive by becoming the place where they wait. In this ancient ocean, the most dangerous shape may be the one that seems to have no shape at all.
The Red Sea turns ordinary pathways into hunting lines.
The hunt begins long before movement. It begins with choosing where the sea will bring life next. In the coral kingdom, even a body shape can become camouflage.
To vanish in the Red Sea, a predator does not always need darkness. Sometimes it only needs imitation. Few hunters in this ancient sea understand disguise as deeply as the octopus. Across its skin, the ocean writes a disguise that can change from one breath to the next.
The Red Sea rewards hunters that can move without becoming a signal. Even the smallest chambers of this ocean can hold sudden power.
Here, silence is not weakness. It is control. The reef is not only a home, it is a strategy built from stone, current, and instinct. A cave hunter turns darkness into territory. In this ocean, even fear must share the reef with delicate life. For prey, the Red Sea is not a landscape. It is a sequence of decisions. The seafloor watches upward, with eyes the reef has taught us to miss. In this ancient ocean, patience often lasts longer than opportunity.
Open water hunters use distance the way reef hunters use shadow.
A predator can control a place without touching anything inside it. When stillness breaks, the ocean becomes a storm of decisions. The hunt does not end when the hunter disappears. It remains in the memory of movement. The Red Sea hides danger by making it look old.
When everything moves except one thing, the ocean asks us to look again.
Ambush in the Red Sea is not always sudden. Sometimes it is arranged slowly.
The predator is only half the trap. The other half is the reef.
In this ocean, one wrong path can bring the hunted into another hunter's patience. The Red Sea is full of moments where survival depends on stopping in time. Some hunters hide inside the reef. Others let the entire ocean announce their path. In the ancient sea, fear connects lives that never meet. The art of silence belongs not only to giants, but to the smallest hunters of the reef. The Red Sea does not rely on one kind of predator. It builds balance through many kinds of silence. Current brings food, and with food comes attention. Every feast in this sea has an audience. When the moment finally comes, the ocean barely has time to notice. The Red Sea closes over every hunt, leaving only movement where fear had been. For the hunter that can change its skin, the reef itself becomes a mask. Not every opportunity is taken. The Red Sea teaches its hunters to choose carefully. The art of survival here is not only hunting, but knowing when not to hunt. The hunted draw the map of the predators without ever naming them. Every predator here has a method, and every method belongs to the ancient sea. As light begins to weaken, the rules of silence become even stronger. Daylight exposes the hunters, but dusk begins to return them to shadow. The Dale's silent hunters have shown their craft, but the Red Sea has another world waiting after dark. As the ancient ocean darkens, patience begins to change into movement. In the Red Sea, silence has mastered the day. Now, the night will give it a deeper voice. As daylight leaves the Red Sea ocean, silence deepens into something older. The reef does not sleep when the light disappears. It changes who is allowed to move. When night enters the Red Sea, even the coral begins to hunt. The smallest hunters of this ancient ocean awaken before the larger shadows begin to move. Darkness does not empty the Red Sea. It reveals another ocean within it. By day, the cave protected the hunter. By night, the hunter leaves the cave behind. The night reef belongs to those who know every tunnel in the ancient sea. At night, the Red Sea shortens the space between danger and life. The lionfish becomes more haunting when the ocean loses its color.
In the night sea, patience becomes harder to see and easier to obey.
Beneath the night water, even the sand may be alive. The Red Sea hides movement beneath stillness until the moment it chooses to rise. Night gives the octopus a larger canvas for disguise. In this ancient sea, intelligence moves without footsteps. The best hunters of the night know that not every movement must become an attack. At night, the ocean hides the hunter until the hunted begins to move differently. The open sea grows wider in darkness, and the hunters of distance become harder to read. In daylight, distance can be measured. At night, distance becomes mystery. The night reef feeds in every direction, from the smallest tentacle to the largest shadow. Under darkness, the Red Sea becomes a universe of small hunters. Night does not silence the Red Sea. It changes the scale of its voices. A hunter built for tunnels becomes bolder when the sea itself turns dark. Below the coral, the Red Sea keeps secret roads for those who know how to follow darkness. Some hunters do not need to roam far. They let the night bring life toward them. At night, the reef becomes a map of angles, openings, and mistakes. The largest shadows of the Red Sea need only pass once to change the behavior of many. In the dark sea, a shadow can become a warning that lasts longer than the shadow itself. In the Red Sea night, living skin can become moving shadow.
The night ocean belongs to those who can move without breaking the pattern.
While some lives hide from the night, others begin their search. The night gives the lionfish a slower stage and darker wings. On the seafloor, the smallest journey can cross the path of intelligence. The ancient ocean teaches hunters that a missed chance can still be wisdom. Power in the night reef often waits behind the smallest door. The deeper we look into this sea, the more hunters the darkness reveals. The Red Sea at night is not the same ocean. It is the hidden half of the ancient world. In darkness, the sea often tells us what is near by showing what changes direction. At the edge of the night reef, the ancient sea becomes depth without end. Large hunters do not need to disturb the ocean. They move through it like memory.
Every life here changes the life beside it. The night shows the Red Sea as a chain of hunger, movement, and balance. Nothing in this ancient ocean hunts alone. Every hunt belongs to something larger. The smallest drifting life can shape the path of the largest hunter. By night, the Red Sea reveals the hidden pattern that daylight disguises. Even before dawn arrives, the night sea begins to prepare for another change.
The Red Sea does not change all at once. It trades one silence for another.
The hunters of darkness do not vanish. They become part of the reef again.
By morning, the Red Sea looks peaceful, but the night has left its mark in every movement. Night has shown us the hidden hunters of the Red Sea. Now, the ancient ocean will reveal how every life feeds the next. Every story of survival in the Red Sea ocean begins with something almost too small to see.
The current does not simply move water. It carries the first meal of the reef.
The coral that builds this ocean world also joins the endless act of feeding. From drifting life, the reef receives energy, and from that energy, movement begins. These small fish transform invisible life into motion, color, and opportunity. The food chain of the Red Sea is not a straight line. It is a web of feeding, cleaning, guarding, and escape.
Even those that do not hunt reshape the ancient ocean with every bite.
Nothing wasted in the Red Sea truly disappears. It descends into another life.
At the bottom of the sea, feeding and hiding often happen in the same breath.
In the ancient sea, survival is not only competition. Sometimes it is an agreement.
Even hunters must sometimes enter the economy of the reef.
Where food gathers life, life gathers danger.
The same current that feeds the small also guides them past the patient.
The Red Sea turns feeding routes into hunting routes. Every escape in this ancient ocean may lead past another mouth.
The hunter waits where the ocean teaches the prey to return.
As the chain moves away from the reef, the hunters become larger and the distance becomes dangerous.
The presence of a predator can shape the sea before the predator acts.
Hunger pulls life outward. Fear pulls it back.
The chain does not end when food falls. It begins again on the ocean floor.
At this scale, the Red Sea is a world of fragments, shelters, and sudden danger.
In the ancient ocean, even the smallest hunter and the smallest prey live by timing.
Some feeding protects the very home that makes feeding possible. The reef feeds the grazers, and the grazers feed the watchers.
The ancient sea builds roads for food, and predators learn those roads. The current is the invisible road of the food chain.
From coral to cave,
From sand to open water, the ancient sea connects every appetite. At the upper edge of the chain, power moves slowly through the ocean. A single shadow can reorganize an entire reef. The Red Sea survives because fear pauses life, but hunger restarts it. This is the architecture of hunger beneath the Red Sea. The ancient ocean does not separate beauty from hunger, or hunger from balance. In the Red Sea, endings often become places for new life to begin.
Every hunter is also part of a larger pattern, and no creature stands outside the chain.
The rules of the reef can change with a single body moving away.
When one creature moves through the sea, others follow the changes it leaves behind. Opportunity in the ocean rarely belongs to only one life. The ancient reef is not a battlefield alone. It is a living arrangement. The hunted are not passive in this sea. Their movement helps shape the hunt. Survival is not only escaping the strike, it is learning the shape of pressure. Some lives move in bursts. Others keep the reef alive through constant work. The foundation of the ancient ocean is built from lives that pass unnoticed. The farther life moves from shelter, the more the ancient ocean tests it. The Red Sea is not ruled by hunger alone. It is held together by the balance hunger creates. The silent predators of the Red Sea are not outside the reef's balance. They are part of what keeps it alive. Now that the chain of life has been revealed, the Red Sea will show us why its silent hunters are guardians of an ancient marine world. Now, the Red Sea ocean shows us why its silent predators are not destroyers, but guardians of balance. To understand this ocean, we must see every life as part of one long rhythm. The smallest life in the Red Sea carries the strength of the largest hunters. The ancient sea begins with delicate mouths, reaching into the current. The reef gives them food, and the predators teach them movement. The lionfish waits in beauty, and through that waiting, the reef remains alert. Even the teeth of the Red Sea have a place inside the reef's fragile order. The great reef hunters preserve their strength, and the ocean learns their patience. Beneath the sand, the Red Sea keeps another layer of balance. In this ancient sea, intelligence can be as important as strength. At the reef's edge, the open ocean is guarded by distance. Fear in the Red Sea is not only danger, it is information. The ancient ocean survives not only through hunger, but through delicate agreements. The future of the Red Sea begins inside small shelters surrounded by ancient risk. This coral kingdom has no walls, yet every creature knows its boundaries. The current carries food, warnings, memory, and life through the Red Sea. Nothing in this ocean moves alone. The Red Sea carries the memory of night into the daylight.
Day and night trade the reef between them, but the ocean remains one. The reef is a monument built not by stone alone, but by life repeating itself. One coral tower can hold an entire history of hunger and shelter. The hunted are also teachers of the sea. Every turn they make records where danger waits.
A guardian does not always protect by gentleness. Sometimes it protects by keeping balance firm.
The Red Sea teaches life to look carefully or become part of the lesson.
Balance is not peace without danger. It is life continuing with danger understood.
The ancient sea survives because nothing is allowed to remain unchanged for too long. What one life removes, another life receives. The ancient ocean survives not only through hunger, but through delicate agreements. The future of the Red Sea begins inside small shelters surrounded by ancient risk. This coral kingdom has no walls, yet every creature knows its boundaries. The current carries food, warnings, memory, and life through the Red Sea. Nothing in this ocean moves alone. The Red Sea carries the memory of night into the daylight. Day and night trade the reef between them, but the ocean remains one. The reef is a monument built not by stone alone, but by life repeating itself. One coral tower can hold an entire history of hunger and shelter. The hunted are also teachers of the sea. Every turn they make records where danger waits.
A guardian does not always protect by gentleness. Sometimes it protects by keeping balance firm.
The Red Sea teaches life to look carefully or become part of the lesson. Balance is not peace without danger. It is life continuing with danger understood. The ancient sea survives because nothing is allowed to remain unchanged for too long. What one life removes, another life receives.
The guardians of the reef are not only the large hunters, they are also the tiny workers beneath them.
The Red Sea is built in layers of dependence. The greatest hunters are not outside the reef's story. They are among its oldest sentences. The Red Sea endures because life here never stops answering change. This current has carried us through beauty, fear, hunger, and renewal. The silent predators remain, not as interruptions, but as part of the music of the sea. In the Red Sea, even darkness has a role in keeping the reef alive. A school of fish is not only many lives, it is one answer to the ancient question of survival. Between shelter and open water, the Red Sea keeps its balance. The strength of this ocean begins in forms too delicate to command attention. To see the Red Sea clearly, we must see the small and the great together. After every night, every hunt,
and every shadow, the reef returns to color. The silent hunters are always near, and because they are near, the reef stays awake. The ancient passages of the Red Sea are not empty corridors. They are memory carved into the sea. Every shape in this reef has been given meaning by life. The Red Sea is beautiful not because it is gentle, but because it is whole. Here, power is measured not only by the hunt, but by the space each life allows another. The greatest story of this ocean is not a single hunt. It is the fact that life continues. Beneath us, the ancient marine world keeps breathing in silence. What once appeared as danger now reveals itself as part of the ocean's design. Above the surface, the Red Sea seems quiet. Below it, an ancient world keeps its balance.
The silent predators remain below, unseen by most, yet essential to everything that lives there. The Red Sea is not merely a place of beauty. It is a living memory of survival.
And beneath this surface, the ancient reef continues, without witness, without applause, without rest. In the Red Sea, silence is not emptiness. It is the sound of balance. The silent predators of this ancient sea do not end the story. They keep it alive. This is the Red Sea, silent, ancient, beautiful, and forever alive beneath the ocean. These are the roaring 50s, and the waves here know no equal. This is the Drake Passage.
In the Drake Passage, the swells are relentless. Every wave grows taller, an endless stretch of turbulent water driven by the storm. The Southern Ocean is a place of raw power, and the notorious Drake Passage rarely disappoints. Challenging all. Beyond the shelter of the Horn lies the open expanse of the Drake, a passage famed for its turbulent seas and isolating fog. Here, there is no shelter, no safe harbor, only the dark sea and the relentless fury of the wind and waves. The swell builds relentlessly, a living machine of water and wind, culminating in the chaotic fury of the Drake Passage. The ocean corridor between Cape Horn and Antarctica is enormous and exposed, with waves moving in several directions beneath the heavy clouds. The sea becomes a doorway into the deeper story of Cape Horn. Ahead lies the violent Drake Passage, ruled by southern winds and hidden currents. The tiny research vessel provides a stark reminder of humanity's place in this immense wilderness. The Drake Passage, leaving the faint shadow of Cape Horn behind, we enter the unforgiving waters of the Drake Passage, where the ocean swells dominate everything. The gray waves roll endlessly here, propelled by the fierce winds of the deep south, a raw and untamed wilderness of water. From this height, the ocean reveals itself as a moving corridor, vast to human eyes, yet narrow when measured by the planet's forces. Beneath the gathering storm clouds, the ocean stirs, a vast engine waking, its power unleashed by the relentless wind. Here, in the infamous Drake Passage, the true force of the Southern Ocean is unleashed as massive swells rise and collapse with unimaginable power. The powerful swell dissipates into churning foam, only to be met by a fierce gust, scattering the spray across the relentless currents. Away from the sight of land, the waves themselves form a continuous chain, pulling us deeper into the profound blue-black heart of the ocean. As the camera glides forward, a low cloud bank rolls over the sea. The waves below move in long, parallel ridges. Below the surface turbulence of the Drake Passage lies an immense force, a hidden current, powerful and unrelenting, shaping the ocean depths. The Drake Passage. Its turbulent waves hint at a power far greater than the surface reveals. The chaotic surface yields to a powerful system. Long, dark ridges begin to form, revealing the hidden forces below the Drake Passage. From this height, the true scale of the Southern Ocean reveals itself, a relentless, rhythmic breathing machine powered by global winds. This is the Drake Passage, a violent gateway where two great oceans converge in a freezing chaos. The westerly winds assert their dominance, tearing at the surface of the frigid sea. The ocean responds with a raw, untamed power. An invisible force pulls at the water, stretching the sea itself across the infamous Drake Passage. Below the rolling waves, hidden currents exert their force, shaping the violence seen on the surface and pulling the ocean into its depths. Here, in the unforgiving waters of the Drake Passage, the sheer scale of the Southern Ocean becomes overwhelmingly clear. This is the Drake Passage, a volatile stretch of water where the visible storm gives way to the unseen forces below. Below the mist lies the true heart of the Southern Ocean, a vast and dangerous realm where wind meets current in an eternal struggle. Beneath these waves lies a pressure few vessels can withstand. This is the Southern Ocean, and it demands respect. This is the Drake Passage, where the Atlantic and Pacific converge, creating towering waves and chaotic currents far below the surface. The sea no longer looks random. Every ridge and trough is connected to the wind, distance, and invisible currents flowing through the Drake Passage. Beneath the violent surface, a deeper engine moves, folding the dark water into itself. A powerful gust tears across the surface, transforming the ocean into streaks of silver-white motion. But this is the Drake Passage, where the sea itself rises like a dark wall, unleashing the raw energy stored within its depths as it breaks into foam. As the chaos of the impact subsides, the true scale of the Antarctic waters is revealed, stretching endlessly towards the ice. Here, where the continents end and the true ocean begins, the Drake Passage guards the gateway to the deep unknown. The Drake Passage holds secrets beneath its turbulent waves. Deep below the surface, a massive current flows. As we journey deeper into the Drake Passage, the true force of the wind and the hidden currents beneath the waves begins to reveal itself. The Drake Passage, a violent, restless sea where two oceans collide before the final approach to the ice. The Drake Passage, a place where every second changes the shape of the world. Descending into the trough reveals the true scale of the Southern Ocean's power, a chaotic gateway into forces unseen. The Drake Passage is endless and exposed. There is no island, no harbor, and no peaceful coastline to soften the ocean's violence. In the infamous Drake Passage, the wind is the undisputed master. It rips across the water, tearing spray from the waves and drudged. The Southern Ocean holds the memory of distant storms. These waves, growing heavier now, carry that immense.
The unforgiving swells of the Drake Passage offer no mercy. Here, swallowed by the immense power of the Southern.
And so the ship vanished beneath the swell. The ocean, timeless and untamed, simply closed over the space. This is the Drake Passage, a visual threshold between the world we know and the mysteries that lie beneath the ice. Legend. Behind the mist lies Cape Horn, the final sentinel of the land. Now, the violent expanse of the Southern Ocean tolerates no weakness. Here, the waves are the true masters, and the land merely a fragile witness to their power. Here, at the edge of Cape Horn, the Southern Ocean unleashes its full fury against the Black Rock, a violent prelude to the infamous Drake Passage. For countless millennia, the cliffs of Cape Horn have endured the ocean's endless assault, a testament to the raw, untamed power of the sea. This coastline offers no refuge. It is the final stone edge before the exposed, endless ocean swallows the horizon.
As the cliffs of Cape Horn recede, the true scale of the Drake Passage begins to emerge.
As the shelter of Cape Horn recedes, the true nature of the Southern Ocean reveals itself. Here, the swells run unimpeded toward Antarctica. Beyond the cliffs of Cape Horn, the ocean asserts its dominance. The small vessel is dwarfed by the immense.
As the cliffs of Cape Horn vanished into the churning wake, the vessel pushed into a sea that grew darker, wider, and less forgiving with every passing moment.
Here, in the unforgiving Drake Passage, the ocean demonstrates its power, quickly erasing the fleeting presence of the ship's passage. We leave the shelter of Cape Horn now, entering the infamous Drake Passage. Ahead lies the raw power of the Southern Ocean, Cape Horn, the very edge of the world's navigable waters. Beyond this churning chaos lies the frozen expanse of Antarctica, and the coastline stands as a warning. Every wave impact reminds us that even the land itself is shaped by the ocean's relentless force. The coastline ends here, swallowed by the mist. Southward, the ocean stretches like an open gate into unimaginable violence. This is Cape Horn, the gateway to the vast, untamed waters of the Drake Passage. As the swell travels outward, Cape Horn recedes into the mist, and the immense power of the open ocean takes control of the narrative. Here, between the continents, the wind blows unimpeded, driving the largest waves on Earth across the notorious passage. The wave crests move in long, organized rows, driven by an unseen force. What feels wide to us is...
As the final coastline disappears, the sea becomes a complete world. A realm with no shelter, no returners.
The last sight of land recedes into the mist, and the sea becomes more than water. It is a boundary, both physical. As the waves subsided, Cape Horn vanished. We were now truly exposed to the raw power of the Drake Passage. Now, with no continent or island left to break the force of the wind, the sea grows rougher. The waves rise unchecked across the open ocean. Here, in the Drake Passage, the sea is an exposed arena. Wind, water, and distance combine into a larger, relentless force. We push farther now from Cape Horn, drawn closer to the violent heart of the Drake Passage. Here, here, at the edge of the world, the Southern Ocean shows its true power. The small research vessel is merely a toy in the hands of the Drake Passage. The sea cares little for the machines of man. It rolls on, indifferent to our passage, reminding us that this crossing belongs to the water. The sea erases scale, direction, and certainty. The vessel is but a fleeting moment in the ocean's eternal power. As the land disappears, the sheer emptiness of the Drake Passage becomes apparent. Nothing but water, wind, and the humbling scale of the open ocean. Below the waves, the water turns to an impenetrable black. Here, in the heart of the passage, the horizon vanishes completely. The true scale of this desolate ocean world remains hidden, obscured by the endless fog and the relentless churning of the waves.
Watch closely as the waves lift in sequence. This is how energy truly moves across the vast, open ocean, uninterrupted.
As the spray clears, the immense breadth of the Drake Passage is revealed. A world swallowed by the sea. Standing here, you understand the true meaning of isolation. The sea is absolute, and we are merely guests in its domain. As the land disappears behind the mist, we turn south. Now, there is only the sea, and the realization that we are truly alone. As we move south, away from the land, the sea grows colder, rougher, and more commanding with every passing moment.
We leave the steep ridges behind as the crossing moves from geography into the raw power of the weather-driven ocean.
We leave the shelter of the continent now, entering the infamous Drake Passage. Here, the Southern Ocean winds.
Here, at the edge of the world, the Southern Ocean unleashes its full power. This is the infamous Drake Passage.
Here, at the convergence of the Atlantic and Pacific, lies the infamous Drake Passage, a place where the ocean swells run unimpeded around the globe.
With Cape Horn behind us, the wind pulls the sea into motion, a natural bridge toward the atmospheric engine ahead.
These waves, bending under the immense pressure of the wind, carry an energy that travels across the vast expanse of the open sea. With Cape Horn now gone, the sea becomes the only landscape, the only road, and the only danger between us and Antarctica. As the clouds race overhead, the immense power of the Southern Ocean winds begins to organize the sea into massive, unstoppable rows. Without land masses to slow them, the westerly winds howl across the open water, turning this passage into Earth's most violent and unpredictable marine corridor.
Now fully exposed to the Southern Ocean, the westerly winds begin their relentless assault on the Drake Passage.
This is the Drake Passage, where the Atlantic and Pacific converge in a violent clash of wind and water. As we rise, the true force of the westerly winds becomes visible. Long lines of foam sweep across the water. The relentless wind writes across the ocean's surface, etching temporary patterns into the rolling waves before they vanish into the deep blue. Here, in the unforgiving Drake Passage, the atmosphere and the ocean move as one powerful, interconnected machine. The sea carries energy from distant storms, and each wave feels like a message traveling across thousands of kilometers of Southern Ocean water. With thousands of miles of open water, the Southern Ocean builds immense power, culminating in these towering walls of water. Far from any shore, the westerly winds sweep across the open ocean, unimpeded. It is this vast...
In the Drake Passage, the atmosphere presses its rhythm directly into the water, synchronizing the sky and the sea in a powerful, relentless surge.
As the storm intensifies, a powerful gust of wind rips across the water, turning the ocean surface into a blinding sheet of silver spray and foam. The wind rips water from the crest as the massive wall of the ocean roars forward, an ancient and primal force unleashed. A force larger than any single storm pulls at the sea, revealing the deep troughs beneath the churning foam. The sea looks chaotic at first, but the wind reveals a hidden order in the direction of crests, spray, and foam lines. Here, where the water ends and the atmosphere begins, the horizon dissolves into a single gray boundary. The truth, here, the westerly winds command the sea, reminding even the sturdiest vessels of nature's dominion. The ship departs, and the relentless wind-driven spray sweeps across the surface, allowing the sea to reclaim its untouched, powerful... The Drake Passage is infamous for its massive seas. Driven by the relentless westerly winds, these waves form endless ridges of raw, moving energy.
Driven by the relentless circumpolar winds, the ocean surface is pulled eastward, a massive conveyor of energy linking these waves to the icy continent beyond.
Here, the wind is not just a presence, it is the undisputed master, whipping the waves into a frenzy. Navigating the Drake Passage means facing some of the most treacherous waters on Earth, where waves emerge suddenly from the gray mist. Below the chaos of the storm layer lies the Drake Passage, where wind systems larger than continents shape the sea into these endless bands of power. Driven by winds that began far beyond this place, the swells carry that memory north, entering the unforgiving waters of the Drake Passage. As the storm intensifies, these colossal swells become mountains of water, revealing the true depth and fury of the Southern Ocean. The Drake Passage is known for its treacherous waters. Here, multiple wave directions collide, creating an unstable, churning sea. Here in the Southern Ocean, the sea appears violent. But every motion is connected to the wind, distance, and immense pressure.
The ocean is a vast, complex system, driven by the atmosphere above it. Wind energy transfers to the water, powering the massive currents we see.
As the gale intensifies, the crests are peeled away, strips of water racing across the surface like smoke. Here, at the Drake Passage, the powerful westerly winds sweep across the open marine corridor, driving the waves relentlessly eastward. With no land to block the storm, the wind imparts its energy directly into the sea. The waves grow longer and steeper, organizing in south of Cape Horn. The infamous roaring 40s and furious 50s unleash their full force across the unbroken expanse of the Southern Ocean. Here, in the notorious Drake Passage, the ocean moves not as individual waves, but as a single, enormous surface under the command of the wind. The ocean moves under atmospheric command. Following the foam scars twisting over dark water, subtle spiral motions reveal...
The sea below answers with ripples, swells, spray, and troughs, turning the Drake Passage into a visible conversation between air and water.
Observe how quickly a strong gust can reshape the open water, turning dark, rolling ridges into a chaotic expanse of bright foam. The wind's immense power literally shaves the tops from the waves, transforming the ocean surface into a violent spray. The ocean carries the memory of wind across its surface, each swell recording pressure, distance, storm history, and the wind's memory is etched into the very fabric of the sea. Here, in the immense Southern Ocean, westerly wind, the transparent currents, invisible to the naked eye, are the silent architects of the waves beneath the storm's fury.
Here, in the infamous Drake Passage, atmospheric forces collide. This swirling vortex of pressure presses down, transforming the sea into a cauldron of violent waves.
Driven by the relentless wind, the surface waters begin their eastward march, fueling the great current below. In this stormy corridor, the ocean reveals its true, untamed energy, constantly reshaped by the relentless westerly winds. Here, in the Drake Passage, the wind-shaped waves begin to synchronize, revealing the immense power of a deeper planetary circulation. Driven by the relentless wind, the sea exerts its raw power. we push onward toward the pale, ethereal glow of the...
Driven by the relentless westerly winds, the Antarctic storm gathers strength, turning the ocean surface into a chaotic landscape of rising waves and sideways spray.
While the wind tears at the surface, deep beneath the churning waves, a far larger, ancient power begins to rise. Below the storm-tossed waves lies a world unseen, where the ocean's deepest secrets flow in powerful, hidden currents. Here, at the surface, the storm rages, but beneath the churning foam, an ancient power stirs, waiting to be revealed. The camera plunges into the crushing darkness, where these colossal structures have stood undisturbed for millennia. Stabilized beneath the churning surface, the deep water of the Drake Passage moves with a slower, more powerful rhythm, far from the sun's reach. The Drake Passage Sea is not only waves, but a layered ocean system moving beneath the storm. Beneath the Drake Passage, the greatest ocean current on Earth begins its endless journey around the pole. The ocean. A river without banks, wide and powerful, flowing silently beneath the violent surface.
Here in the Drake Passage, the wind whips the surface layers into a turbulent frenzy, while far deeper, the massive currents move steadily onward.
The Drake Passage. A place where the vast southern ocean is sculpted by unseen forces, creating rivers within the sea itself. From this depth, we see the raw power of the Drake Passage. The wind-driven waves connect directly to the massive Antarctic circumpolar current flowing beneath.
Here in the Drake Passage, different current layers slide past one another, carrying an immense, hidden force through the ocean depths.
The Antarctic circumpolar current is not a single smooth line, but a living field of motion, creating massive underwater eddies that shape the global climate.
The Drake Passage reveals the ocean's hidden architecture. As the eddy stretches, the water organizes itself into powerful moving zones.
While the surface rages in chaos, down here, the deep, continuous circulation moves with undisturbed power. Stretching across the Drake Passage, these immense current ribbons are the ocean's invisible highways, moving heat, salt, and nutrients on a planetary scale. Here, in the violent waters of the Drake Passage, invisible highways carry the foundation of marine life. Following the current deeper, the light begins to fade. Below the surface storm, the Antarctic circumpolar current reveals itself as a vast...
Here, in the tumultuous waters of the Drake Passage, the ocean is a single vertical world. From the deepest currents to the wind-whipped surface, everything moves together.
The Drake Passage connects the Atlantic and Pacific, funneling an unimaginable volume of water, creating the most powerful current on Earth. Squeezing between South America and Antarctica, the Drake Passage acts as a narrow gate, funneling the immense power of the planetary current.
As the current accelerates through this narrow passage, the water particles stream faster, compressed by the geography, yet the visible space remains vast.
But as the current accelerates, following the deep shadowed slope far below, the immense pressure begins to bend the flow, disturbing the smooth ocean layers.
In the open water column, the true scale of the Antarctic circumpolar current is revealed. Layers of cold water move past each other.
As the camera moves through this seafront, we see how the current acts as a soft, invisible wall, connecting and separating ocean worlds.
Here, in the tumultuous Drake Passage, the wind-driven waves on the surface are inextricably linked to the deep, powers.
The camera descends deeper now, revealing the hidden circulation of the ocean. These vast currents move relentlessly from west to east.
Here, in the depths of the Drake Passage, layers of water slide past one another, carrying an immense, unseen force.
Changes. What begins as a localized eddy soon stretches into a powerful current front. Here, in the Drake Passage, the sea organizes and the ocean reveals two distinct realities. Above, chaos reigns in the storm-tossed waves. But
these immense current ribbons pass through the Drake Passage like invisible highways, moving water, heat, salt, and nutrients across the Southern Ocean. Flowing through the Drake Passage, these invisible highways carry the very foundation of marine life across the violent sea.
As we descend deeper, the surface storm fades, revealing the true power of the Antarctic circumpolar current. A vast, silent force moving through the...
Here in the Drake Passage, the ocean is a vertical world. From the deep currents to the surface winds, everything moves together. Every second, a volume of water riven by the Drake Passage dwarfs all the rivers on Earth combined, a silent, powerful force shaping the globe. An immense volume of water is squeezed through this narrow gate, a planetary current accelerating through the Drake Passage with unimaginable force.
This is the planetary current gate, a massive convergence of water. Plunging beneath the waves, the current accelerates through the passage, compressed by the geography of the deep. Driven by forces unseen, the current accelerates, bending as it encounters the abyssal slope far below, disturbing the tranquil layers of the deep ocean.
Here, the powerful flow of the sea curves and folds, influenced by the shadowed architecture of the ocean floor, revealing the next chapter of this deep journey.
The Antarctic circumpolar current feels endless. It is constantly carrying the planet's water around the frozen south.
The seafront acts as an invisible wall, a dynamic boundary where different worlds converge, yet remain forever distinct in the vast ocean currents.
Within the turbulent waters of the Drake Passage, powerful currents gather tiny particles, concentrating the life-supporting materials that feed this vast marine ecosystem.
Though the storm flickers violently above, casting shadows and light, the deep current below continues its calm, unstoppable persistence.
These powerful currents, stretching beyond the frame, make this passage feel like the throat of a vast global circulation system.
Even here, in the cold depths of the Drake Passage, the violent sea creates highways of current, transporting the foundation of all marine life.
Following the current into a darker zone, the ocean pressure grows heavier. The Antarctic circumpolar current is a vast, silent force beneath the surface storm. Emerging from the crushing darkness of the pressure zone, the Drake Passage reveals its vertical nature. Here, the deep currents merge with the distant pull of surface winds. Every second, an unimaginable volume of water surges through the Drake Passage, connecting the great oceans. Here, between South America and Antarctica, the Drake Passage acts as a narrow gate for the immense planetary current. Here, the planetary current accelerates, a massive river of water compressed by the geography of the seafloor. Here, the accelerating current plunges deeper, disturbed and bent by the immense, shadowed slopes of the seafloor far below.
As the current ribbons deform over the shadowed terrain, the flow curves and folds, hinting at the hidden architecture that will shape the next chapter of the deep.
The Antarctic circumpolar current is a force unlike any other. It constantly carries the planet's water around shelters. The current acts as both architect and boundary, where blue cold water meets greener, nutrient-rich streams.
The relentless currents of the Drake Passage concentrate life-supporting material along the boundary, showing how even violent waters sustain these ecosystems.
Sunlight struggles to pierce the turbulent surface, but the deep ocean currents flow onward, undisturbed by the chaos above.
Deeper now, into the Drake Passage. This vast underwater current acts as the throat of a global circulation system.
As the deep currents wrap around Antarctica, they accelerate, squeezing through the Drake Passage and continuing their journey northward, driving the planet's climate. As the visualization fades, we enter the Drake Passage, where the Antarctic current flows unimpeded.
The deeper we descend beneath the Drake Passage, the heavier the pressure, yet the Antarctic circumpolar current surges onward.
The deep ocean currents, vast and powerful, begin to shift. They twist around unseen terrain, foreshadowing the hidden ridges and basins far below. The deep ocean is never still. Here, the currents bend and twist, forming powerful vortices that shape the underwater landscape.
The sea appears simultaneously chaotic and organized as the eddies stretch and break apart. Eventually, the steady eastward.
As we ascend, the true complexity of the Drake Passage reveals itself. Beneath the raging storm, the deeper currents flow.
Here, between the surface turbulence and the deeper currents, lies the true nature of the Drake Passage, a powerful gateway in the world ocean.
Here, the ocean is a moving archive, a vast repository of temperature, salt, carbon and energy flowing around the Antarctic continent.
Here, in the depths of the Drake Passage, the strongest forces move silently, an immense current carrying particles through the dark water.
While the storm rages on the surface far above, the Antarctic circumpolar current holds its steady, immense path through the dark ocean depths. Below the waves, the silent power of the depths. The immense currents of the Drake Passage begin to reveal the contours of the hidden seafloor far below.
Even here, in the crushing dark of the deep ocean, hidden mountains rise, steering the powerful flow of planetary water.
The ocean floor is far from empty. It is architectural, a realm of hidden walls beneath the violent surface. As the circulation tightens into faster streams, the focus shifts to the shape of the seafloor. Here, the true power.
The seafloor beneath Drake Passage is not passive, but actively reshapes the current. The ocean flow compresses as it climbs the submerged rise, accelerating dramatically before spilling into the darker waters of the abyss beyond.
Here in the Drake Passage, the Antarctic circumpolar current surges eastward, its path visibly altered by the wind above and the submerged landscape.
As we rise from the hidden currents below, the true violence of the Drake Passage reveals itself on the surface.
The Antarctic circumpolar current, an immense river of seawater driven by powerful winds, now dives towards the abyss.
We descend into the Drake Passage. Below the stormy surface, the Antarctic circumpolar current rages. Below the stormy surface lies the true power of the Antarctic circumpolar current, a massive force hiding ancient structures beneath the waves. The descent continues toward the hidden seafloor. In the Drake Passage, the ocean floor silently steers the flow around this dark underwater wall. Here, in the crushing depths of the Drake Passage, the coldest water accelerates, transforming the seafloor into an alien landscape of submerged peaks. Descending into the basin, the powerful current slows, and the underwater valleys reshape the immense force of the sea into vast, rotating eddies.
Here in the Drake Passage, beneath the violent waves, the rotating basin eddy begins to stretch. It transforms into a long blue mix.
As we descend deeper, the true architecture of the abyss is revealed. Invisible walls carved into the seabed funnel the powerful...
The camera glides into the narrow channel, and the current accelerates, a planetary river forced through hidden gates deep within the Drake Passage. The camera watches as current ribbons bend sharply around this deep fracture zone. The seafloor proves that the chaos above has structure far below the surface. In the Drake Passage, the sea reveals itself as a deep mechanical system, where water, stone, pressure, and rotation work in powerful unison.
As we ascend from the depths of the Drake Passage, the distinct boundaries between water masses become visible, driven by unseen forces.
As the currents bend over the seafloor ridge, the resulting turbulence creates a gathering point. Along this front, tiny particles and nascent marine...
Carried by the current through the Drake Passage, this cloud of life transforms hidden turbulence into a quiet foundation for everything that follows.
As we ascend, the currents intensify, revealing how motion gathers life in these invisible corridors of the sea.
The Drake Passage current dictates all movement here. These resilient cold-water fish yield to its relentless power, moving swiftly as one with the flow.
The Drake Passage. Though the surface rages violently above, here in the depths, the powerful current carries food. Above the churning chaos of the waves, the albatross rides the gale, connecting the turbulent sea to the stormy sky. Here, in the roaring 40s, the albatross rides the breath of the storm, its wings locked against the violence of the great southern ocean. For the albatross, the sea is both danger and pathway, a turbulent world where survival is shaped by the wind's relentless force. Soaring over the immense swells of the Drake Passage, the albatross reads the air currents, an invisible road above the churning ocean. Relying entirely on the wind, the albatross banks sharply. The ocean surface below traces its path in white foam, a testament to its Here, amidst the endless swells of the Drake Passage, survival depends on motion, not resistance.
The albatross dips low, braving the spray of the cresting wave. For a moment, it is lost to the mist, only to emerge stronger than before.
The Drake Passage shows no mercy, yet the albatross moves with an effortless grace perfectly adapted to this violent world. But the calm flight is merely a prelude. Ahead, the ocean's true power stirs, drawing life from the depths. The currents here connect the hunters above to the microscopic life beneath the waves, a vital food pathway.
The sea current quietly carries the base of the food web beneath the surface, a stream of life sustaining the inhabitants of this cold, blue expanse.
The strong currents bend over the distant seafloor ridge, pulling particles into long glowing trails, illustrating the profound...
The sea behaves like wind over mountains, but here the mountains are hidden beneath the Drake Passage water. What begins as unseen turbulence far below culminates here, in the violent chaos of the surface storm. This is the Drake Passage, a place of immense power. The cold currents dominate, but deep beneath the swells, life persists. In the unforgiving waters of the Drake Passage, even the largest leviathan is quickly swallowed by the storm. As the whale disappears into the depths, the surface turbulence slowly yields to the relentless forces of wind and current. The Drake Passage is violent, yet undeniably alive. A testament to the raw power of the Southern Ocean. Where the currents collide, a hidden bounty is brought to the surface. These upwellings drive the ocean's most vibrant ecosystems. Beneath the storm front, the Drake Passage current begins its powerful flow. Stirring the sediment along the seafloor, it carries a plume.
Deep within the blue abyss, powerful currents stir the seabed. This turbulence, seemingly chaotic, unlocks a cascade of biological.
In the Drake Passage, powerful currents churn the depths, carrying nutrients from the seafloor to the surface, fueling a vast biological opportunity.
Beneath the waves, immense forces are unleashed. These deep currents carry vital energy upward, towards the turbulent surface.
Above the heavy swell, the camera emerges into the cold wind. Here, the albatross reads the invisible shape. In the heart of the Southern Ocean, the albatross harnesses the storm's energy, transforming this battlefield into a living environment, the Drake Passage. A place where life survives not by conquering the ocean, but by moving with its immense forces. The same powerful forces that shape the life within these waters will soon carry the immense icebergs of Antarctica north, altering everything in their path. Here, in the tumultuous waters of the Drake Passage, the powerful currents signal a dramatic shift towards the icy frontiers of the south.
Types. But through the churning mist and violent swells, something emerges on the horizon, a shape unlike water or cloud. Signals.
As the great ice sheets meet the warming ocean, they release ancient bubbles of air, trapped for millennia.
The camera follows the faint freshwater ribbons as they mix into the darker seawater. Here, the ocean layers bend. From the silent depths, we rise through the mixing waters to witness the ocean's raw power as it sculpts the ancient ice.
The Drake Passage, a crucible of storms, now carries these fragments of Antarctica out into the wider world, a journey fueled by the powerful Southern Ocean currents.
Driven by the relentless power of the waves, these fragments begin their journey, evidence of the ocean's transformative force on the ancient ice. Here, at the edge of the world, massive icebergs begin their long, arduous journey north, battling the ferocious power of the Southern Ocean. Here, the raw power of the polar sea is unleashed, a dramatic display of nature's relentless force against the ancient ice.
Turning seaward, the icebergs recede into the mist. This is where the frozen realm meets the turbulent, living waters.
In the relentless churn of the Southern Ocean, even the most colossal ice formations are fleeting. The water is eternal.
Beyond the frozen gateway lies the Weddell Sea, an unbroken expanse, stretching toward the Antarctic Peninsula.
Here, in the Drake Passage, the relentless Antarctic circumpolar current pulls the ice fragments eastward, a hidden force beneath the waves.
Here, beneath the surface, the sea moves both ice and water through the same planetary pathway. Here, the ancient ice surrenders its form. The cold freshwater descends, a memory merging with the deep, shaping the currents of tomorrow.
This is where temperature, salt, and ice converge. A visible climate space formed by the meeting of distinct ocean currents and freshwater plumes.
Driven by powerful winds, the Antarctic circumpolar current relentlessly circles the frozen continent, accelerating as it is forced through the gauntlet of the Drake Passage.
The abstract visualizations give way to the raw power of the ocean. Here, where warm and cold waters collide.
The storm rages, yet life persists even here. And amidst the chaos, this small buoy measures the ocean's violent power. Monitoring the relentless movement of the Drake Passage, this silent sentinel measures the vital statistics: temperature, salinity, current, and pressure.
While the surface rages, the true symphony of the deep remains hidden. Here, science listens passively to the ocean's uncontrolled voice
as the instrument recedes, the true observatory reveals itself. The Drake Passage carries secrets through its layers. The data reveals a stark reality. Deep currents are accelerating, linking the silent depths to the increasing violence of the sea.
Here, beneath the waves, we witness the raw power of the Drake Passage, a crucible where atmosphere, ocean, and ice collide.
As the atmosphere meets the ocean and the ice, the relentless waves continue to carve its base, slowly reshaping this fragment of the frozen continent.
A powerful yet subtle shift. The meltwater drips from the ancient blue ice, joining the vast global circulation. As the wind strengthens, the sea becomes a violent force. Waves crash against the ice, a stark reminder of the raw.
From this sweeping view, the immense power of the ocean currents becomes clear,
relentlessly moving ice, heat, and vital elements through the Drake Passage.
Every visible wave belongs to a larger circulation pattern moving far beyond the Drake Passage.
Down here, beneath the churn of the surface, the ocean currents move silently, carrying with them the clearest signals of our changing climate. The Drake Passage, where the immense physical power of the ocean converges with life, signaling profound planetary change. Rising from the depths, we witness the relentless power of the current. The ocean carries this fragment of ancient ice. Even the ice, once part of a towering glacier, now drifts aimlessly in the vast, cold expanse. The albatross navigates the Drake Passage, a crucible where wind, ice, and sea converge in this untamed ocean.
This is the Drake Passage, a place where the immense power of the ocean dwarfs even the largest mountains of ice, reminding us of nature's overwhelming scale.
As the storm finally relents, the ocean begins its slow, rhythmic breathing once more. Here, in the Drake Passage, the Earth's motion is laid bare. The storm may soften, but the camera descends toward the restless sea. Here, the ocean remains ancient and unfinished, a corridor for the relentless currents of wind. The journey south reveals the immense power of the Antarctic, a vast reservoir of ice and cold water influencing every ocean on Earth. Turning north from the Antarctic glow, we enter the Drake Passage, a place defined by the immense scale of the pure ocean and the raw power of the wind. The journey north reveals the true scale of the oceanic realm, where every force, from the deep currents to the high winds, the Southern Ocean is a place of raw power, beautiful in its terror, indifferent to those who cross its path. Here, the waves roll endlessly into the mist, carrying the memory of the wind, the hidden currents, and the cold breath of Antarctica.
Here, in the dark sea, the last iceberg drifts slowly, the memory of Antarctica carried on it.
This is the Drake Passage, a place where the true power of the ocean is felt. No map between Cape Horn and the frozen continent, the Drake Passage reveals its true power, an untamable force where sky and sea merge. The Drake Passage, a fitting end to our journey, reminding us that this world remains wild, powerful, and utterly beyond our control.
From above, the Pacific Ocean looks peaceful, endless, and almost motionless.
But beneath this beautiful ocean surface, the planet is not still. The ocean hides a world of pressure, heat, stone, and movement.
What seems like silence is only the surface of a much larger story. We now descend into the Pacific Ocean, where the hidden power begins. Above us, the ocean is bright. Below us, the earth begins to reveal itself. The deeper we go, the more the ocean changes from beauty into mystery. The Pacific Ocean is not only a body of water, it is a cover over a moving world. Below this ocean, entire plates of rock move slowly through time. They move too slowly for the eye to see, yet strongly enough to shape the planet. This ocean floor is not an empty place. It is a map written in stone.
Every crack beneath the ocean tells us that Earth's crust is under pressure. Here, beneath the Pacific Ocean, pressure builds where no sunlight reaches.
The surface above may be calm, but this hidden ocean floor is constantly changing.
If the ocean water vanished, the Pacific would not look smooth at all.
It would reveal mountains, trenches, fracture zones, and scars carved into the ocean floor.
Some of these ocean trenches are deeper than mountains are tall.
These are not empty holes in the ocean. They are places where Earth's crust bends downward. At the edges of the Pacific Ocean, one plate can be forced beneath another. This slow descent is the beginning of the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is not a perfect circle of flames. It is a horseshoe of geological pressure around the Pacific Ocean. Around this ocean, tectonic plates meet, collide, slide, sink, and fracture. This hidden boundary crosses the edges of continents, island arcs, and deep ocean basins. Volcanoes rise here because the ocean floor is being recycled into the planet. Some volcanoes reach the sky as islands. Others remain hidden forever beneath the ocean. The ocean hides much of Earth's volcanic power from human eyes. Here, fire does not need the open air. It can build new rock beneath the sea. Under the Pacific Ocean, heat, water, and stone meet in dark. The floor itself seems to breathe where Earth's interior reaches the ocean. These hidden vents show that the ocean floor is not dead rock. Even in darkness, the ocean can turn heat into life. The same force that creates life here can also store enormous danger. Along these boundaries, the ocean floor can become locked in place. The plates keep trying to move, but friction can hold them together. Stress can gather beneath the ocean for decades, or even centuries. The quiet years are not proof that nothing is happening. When a locked boundary finally breaks, slow motion becomes sudden release. This is how the hidden ocean floor can become the source of a powerful earthquake. If the movement is strong and shallow beneath the ocean, the water above can be displaced. A tsunami does not begin as a wall of water. It begins when the seafloor moves. In deep ocean water, this energy may pass almost unseen. The Pacific Ocean can look peaceful while a force is already crossing it. This is the danger of the hidden ocean floor. What happens below can travel far beyond the source. The Ring of Fire connects trenches, volcanoes, earthquakes, and ocean waves into one vast system. And it is not a single doomsday switch. It is a long chain of active tectonic edges. The scale is difficult to imagine because the ocean hides almost everything. From below, the Pacific Ocean feels like a lid over a restless planet. The world above sees waves. The world below holds the engine. Now we understand why the calm ocean surface can be misleading. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, stone descends, melts, rises, locks, and waits. To understand this hidden power, we must follow the ocean floor downward into the process that drives it all.
The Ring of Fire begins not with flame, but with descent.
In the next part, we enter the subduction zone, where the ocean floor is pulled back into Earth.
Here, beneath the Pacific Ocean, the Ring of Fire begins not with flame, but with descent. At the edge of the Pacific Ocean, one massive plate is being pulled beneath another.
This process is called subduction, the slow return of the ocean floor into Earth.
Oceanic crust is colder and denser than the rock above it, so gravity helps pull it down. The movement is slow, often only a few centimeters each year, but its power is enormous. A motion too slow to watch can still reshape the entire ocean basin. As the ocean floor sinks, it drags sediment, water, and ancient rock downward with it. Water trapped inside minerals begins a journey deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. As the slab sinks, pressure rises, temperature increases, and the hidden chemistry begins to change. The ocean floor does not simply disappear. It transforms the world around it. Water released from the descending ocean plate lowers the melting point of surrounding rock. This is where magma begins, not from random fire, but from pressure, water, and heat. Above the sinking slab, the deep earth starts to melt. The magma rises because it is hotter and lighter than the rock around it. Over time, these rising paths can feed volcanoes beneath the Pacific Ocean. This is why the Ring of Fire is lined with volcanoes. The fire begins deep below, but the ocean hides its first signs. Some magma builds new seafloor without ever touching the sky. When lava meets cold ocean water, it cools quickly and hardens into new stone. The Pacific Ocean floor is not only being destroyed at trenches, it is also being created by volcanic heat.
Subduction destroys old crust, but it also gives birth to volcanic arcs and new terrain.
This hidden engine creates seamounts, volcanic islands, and entire underwater mountain chains. A seamount may look still, but its origin is written in the movement of plates. Where heat escapes into the ocean, the seafloor begins to breathe. Hydrothermal vents are signs that Earth's interior is reaching into the ocean. Minerals carried by hot water build chimneys in the darkness of the Pacific Ocean. In this hidden ocean world, heat becomes chemistry, and chemistry can become life. Even without sunlight, the ocean can support life near the heat of the Earth. Subduction is not only a destructive force, it is also a creator of hidden ecosystems. But the same process that creates heat and life also stores danger along locked boundaries. Where the descending ocean plate meets the plate above, friction can stop the movement. The plates continue pushing, but the boundary holds them in place. Energy gathers slowly beneath the Pacific Ocean, hidden from the surface world. For decades or centuries, the ocean above may look completely calm. The quiet years are part of the earthquake cycle, not proof that nothing is happening. Every locked section is a place where slow motion can become sudden release. When the boundary finally breaks, stored energy can move the ocean floor in seconds. This is the link between subduction and the largest earthquakes on Earth. The same boundary that creates magma can also lock enough energy to shake entire regions. The subduction connects the deepest trench, the hidden magma, the volcano, and the earthquake.
It is not fire first. It is motion first. The fire comes later.
And when that fire reaches the ocean floor, a new hidden volcanic world begins. Many of the Pacific Ocean's most active volcanoes never touch the sky. They erupt in darkness, under pressure, surrounded by cold seawater. This is where subduction reveals its most dramatic face beneath the ocean.
The sinking ocean plate below has awakened fire above.
The Pacific Ocean floor is being destroyed, melted, lifted, and rebuilt at the same time. Here, the hidden engine of the Ring of Fire becomes visible. Subduction explains why the Pacific Ocean holds trenches, volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunami danger in one system. Now that we have followed the ocean floor downward, we can follow the fire upward.
In the next part, we enter the world of submarine volcanoes, where fire does not need the sky.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the planet is not only sinking, it is beginning to burn.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean, fire does not need the sky to begin.
Here, the Ring of Fire reveals itself in darkness, pressure, and silence.
Most people imagine volcanoes reaching into the air, but many are hidden beneath the ocean.
This volcano has no ash cloud, no mountain skyline, and no watching crowd.
Its power is hidden below the sea, where sunlight never reaches.
Under pressure, even a quiet ocean floor can become a volcanic landscape. Magma rises through fractures, searching for a path into the ocean.
When lava enters the Pacific Ocean, fire and water meet in an instant.
The ocean cools the lava quickly, turning molten fire into new stone. These rounded forms are pillow lava, one of the signatures of underwater eruption.
The ocean floor is being built one cooled layer at a time.
A submarine volcano is not only a place of destruction, it is a factory of new terrain. Every slope records older eruptions beneath the ocean, layered in darkness over time. Some eruptions build slowly, while others reshape the ocean floor in sudden bursts. Not every eruption is glowing lava. Sometimes the ocean floor exhales heat through mineral smoke. With
hydrothermal vents form where seawater enters cracks, heats below, and rises again, loaded with minerals.
In the deep ocean, minerals can build towers where heat escapes from the earth.
These chimneys are monuments to the hidden connection between the ocean and Earth's interior.
The seafloor seems to breathe, exhaling heat from a world far below. Around these vents, the ocean becomes a place of chemistry instead of sunlight.
Even here, in darkness, life finds a way to gather around heat.
These organisms do not depend on sunlight. They depend on chemical energy rising from the ocean floor.
Microbes turn minerals into energy, and that energy supports an entire community.
The same heat that can destroy also creates a place where life can survive.
This is the great contrast of the Ring of Fire beneath the ocean. It buries old crust, builds new ground, and changes the shape of the seafloor. A volcano beneath the ocean can grow silently for centuries. Layer by layer, eruption by eruption, it becomes part of the underwater landscape.
Underwater volcanoes are difficult to see, but their signs are written in heat, bubbles, and stone.
An eruption beneath the ocean may leave only chemical changes, floating pumice, and evidence on the seabed.
But the ocean hides the drama, but it cannot erase the record.
After the heat passes, the ocean floor keeps the memory of eruption. New rock is born hot, then sealed quickly by the cold Pacific Ocean.
Here, time is layered across the ocean floor.
Submarine volcanoes can build, collapse, fracture, and rebuild beneath the waves. Even underwater, volcanic slopes are shaped by instability and pressure. Gas, heat, and pressure rise through cracks long after an eruption begins to fade. The volcano becomes a living machine of rock, water, heat, and chemistry. This hidden world proves that destruction and creation are not separate beneath the ocean. Life gathers at the edge of heat, where the deep ocean should seem impossible. Above the vents, the Pacific Ocean remains cold and silent, hiding everything below.
From the surface, none of this fire can be seen.
The ocean hides not just one eruption, but a long history of volcanic change. Across the Pacific Ocean, countless volcanic worlds rise from the seafloor. Some will never become islands, but they still shape the ocean around them.
Minerals from these vents paint the ocean floor with traces of Earth's interior. Old vents die, new vents open, and the volcanic system keeps changing. But even in the deep ocean, nothing here is truly frozen in time. The same heat that feeds the vents also reminds us that pressure is still rising below.
A submarine volcano is connected to forces much larger than the vent itself.
Behind the lava and vents lies the same tectonic engine that bends the ocean floor downward. The volcano is the visible breath of a hidden system beneath the Pacific Ocean. But the same boundary that creates volcanic fire can also lock dangerous energy in place.
The Ring of Fire does not separate volcanoes from earthquakes. It connects them.
Where the plates become stuck, the next story begins.
The hidden fire builds new worlds, but the locked boundary stores the power to shake them. In the next part, we enter the locked boundary, where a megathrust earthquake can begin. Here beneath the Pacific Ocean, the hidden fire gives way to a different kind of power. This is where the ocean floor can become locked by friction. The plates continue trying to move, but the boundary resists. The movement does not stop. It becomes stored energy.
Over decades or centuries, the upper plate can bend like a spring. The ocean above may look calm, while stress gathers below.
A megathrust fault can extend for hundreds of kilometers beneath the ocean. Its scale is difficult to imagine because the ocean hides almost everything. The same system that builds volcanoes can also store earthquake energy. Nothing dramatic may happen at the surface for a long time.